Recently injured forward salary dumped by Miami Heat. Hey, did you see the news about the Miami Heat trading Haywood Highsmith? It happened pretty quietly, but it's a huge move for them, not because of the player, but because of the money. The Heat traded Highsmith to the Brooklyn Nets, and it was a classic salary dump move. They sent Highsmith and a future 2032 second-round draft pick to the Nets and got back a protected 2026 second-rounder. The key to this whole deal is the luxury tax. Highsmith was set to make around $5.6 million this season. By trading him away without taking back any salary, the Heat were able to duck below the luxury tax threshold. You might be wondering why this is so important for a team that's always willing to spend. Well, the NBA's collective bargaining agreement has some pretty harsh penalties for teams that are repeated taxpayers, meaning they pay the tax 4 times in a 5-year span. The Heat had been in the tax for the last 2 seasons, so they were trying hard to avoid it this year to prevent an even bigger tax bill and more severe restrictions on their roster building. This trade, for all intents and purposes, was a financial decision to avoid that outcome. What makes the trade even more notable is the timing. Highsmith recently underwent surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his knee, an injury that's expected to sideline him for 8 to 10 weeks. That means he might miss the start of the season. To trade a player who is a solid role player and just a few weeks ago was a key part of your rotation, and to do it while he is injured, really highlights how determined the Heat were to get under the tax line. Now, for the Brooklyn Nets, this is a low-risk, high-reward move. They are in a rebuilding phase and have the salary cap space to take on Highsmith's contract. He's on an expiring deal, so they can either see how he fits in their rotation once he's healthy, or they can use him as a trade asset later on, possibly flipping him to a contender at the trade deadline. He's a good defensive player and a decent shooter, so he has value around the league. So, in the end, the trade is a win-win for both sides. The Heat accomplished their goal of getting under the luxury tax, which gives them more flexibility and avoids future penalties. The Nets get a useful player and an extra draft pick without giving up anything of real value. It's a perfect example of how the NBA's financial rules can dictate team moves as much as on-court performance.